Last time, on Whiskey Ridge.
After a rough stagecoach ride into town, Buck McCabe, Tanner Cole, and Prudence Hayes spent the evening at Buck's Bar, the Silver Dollar Saloon. Buck introduced Tanner to some of the bar's more colorful characters. There was the piano player, Cactus Hackett, the ladies of the night, Ruby Kane and Wild Rose McGill, and the busboy, Bart Busby. Behind the bar was Buck's wife, an Apache woman named Sarah Fallingstar. Also in the bar were the patrons Josiah Sarkisian, a bad gambler who runs the bank in town, and a dangerous drifter named Mason Dixon. The group enjoys a few rounds of drinks and a few rounds of cards until the sheriff, Lucas Hale, comes in to ask about the burning stagecoach in the street. Buck and Tanner explain the situation, and Lucas leaves satisfied, only to be replaced soon after by the mayor, Arlo McCheese. The mayor explains that he had sent for Caleb Ironside to be replacement for the sheriff, but his plans were ruined now that Caleb was dead. It seems he wanted to replace Lucas Hale because of his lack of progress on the disappearances in town. The mayor also reveals that two of the missing people had actually been found murdered, both strangled in a similar manner. The victims were the Lady of the Night, Muriel Seeley, and the gunsmith's wife, Jane Baxter. The mayor divulged several leads and asked if, since Caleb was dead, Buck and Tanner would be his proxy investigators, with Prudence Hayes acting as support. They agreed. As the mayor leaves, Tanner reveals to Buck that he isn't just a cowhand, he's actually an undercover Pinkerton sent to Whiskey Ridge to investigate the murders.
Audio.
Ciao!
First things first, I'm going to ask you, what has Tanner Cole been doing for the past couple days?
Yeah, so Tanner Cole, obviously we understand what happened the first night. He woke up the next morning, got some breakfast, took a walk around town, just kind of taking in the scenes, walked up to the church, scoped that out for a little bit. Then kind of explored a little bit, just outside, not going too far outside the town line, but a little bit. And then just walked back, took a nice, peaceful, easy Sunday. Yeah. And then had some dinner Sunday night, and he's, getting an early sleep in to get over up to Boone's farm first thing Monday morning.
Okay. And I'll say that you were able to gather from the townspeople that Boone's farm is about a mile out of town.
Cool.
Out of the downtown. Early morning, you head on up there.
Yeah, and he'd walk up there. Obviously, he doesn't have a horse yet, so he'd grab his satchel and his long rifle, and he'd make that 1 mile hike.
Okay, so you walk the mile to the Boone's farm. Boone's farm is a collection of buildings on a dusty plateau only about a mile outside of downtown Whiskey Ridge. The larger home, which is the residence of the Boone family, is referred to as the Big House. The smaller house is a ranch bunkhouse where the hands sleep and spend their off hours. A stable houses the sows and the horses when they aren't in the pen, and a chicken coop provides daily eggs. A larger pen can hold the steers after a roundup, but the branded herd largely roams free on the surrounding acres. Every year or so, there's a cattle drive to Lukenbach or another nearby town. A mobile chuck wagon provides the food for the hands most days, but every Sunday they're invited to the Big House for a dinner. If you want to give a little description of this. This is pretty accurate.
Oh, this is awesome. So we're presented with a western kind of dusty hill scene, some sparse little trees out in the background. On the other side of the fence, there is a larger tree directly near, looks like one of the bunkhouses perhaps, and possibly the chicken coop right to the right side of that. There are 4 cowboys on horses sitting on one side of the fence, talking to 4 more cowboys sitting on the porch of, maybe this is the big house. It's not super big, but I'm guessing it might be. It is a log cabin. There are several deer antlers decorating the front part of the porch, and also at least 1 or 2 on the porch itself. Looks like there might be a fire pit or some sort of pit over there. Till and hoe, and just a typical post fence.
Yeah, so I populated the map with just a few people, but yeah, there's probably more people just kind of roaming around. There's maybe like 10, 15 people here at any given time.
Okay.
I'll see you come in down at the bottom there.
All right.
And I don't know if I made this clear, but you have some kind of like notice, like recommending you for work here.
Okay.
So I would assume that you like, when you get there, somebody comes out. We'll say Chaw Newman comes out.
Okay.
Chaw is a very large person. He is probably about 7 feet tall. Can you describe
Jesus? He's a young Andre the Giant, and that's all you need to know. That's exactly who this guy is. That was a very. He's also wearing a sweet Western shirt with a floral pattern coming down from either shoulder. It's very nice.
Thank you.
All right. Hi.
What are you doing here?
Hi, I'm Tanner Cole. I'm here to report to Jackson Boone. I'm starting up as a cowhand here on the Boone farm. Who might you be, sir?
My name's Chaw.
Hey, Chaw.
Chaw Newman.
How you doing today, Chaw?
They call me Chaw Newman, with the strength of two men.
I don't doubt that. You are mighty tall. Mighty tall.
Thank you. It's all in the genes.
And he points to his jeans.
Of course he does. That's awesome. Hey, Chaw, any chance you know where Mr. Boone is?
Oh, sure. Right this way.
Thank you.
And he leads you up. You see there's another ranch hand kind of roping some steers in the pen. And this older gentleman comes out of the house. He's walking up to you. He looks like this.
All right. So we've got an older gentleman with a long white beard. Looks weathered from many years out in the sun. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's got a leather two-tone vest, brown and tan. He's got jeans on, and he's got a gun on his right hip with a holster, a bandolier, and a belt with a big belt buckle.
You don't need to be quite so detailed, but that's okay.
Sorry.
He comes walking up, and Jackson says,
Well, I'll be. Mr. Tanner Cole, I see.
Yes, sir, Mr. Boone. How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. This piece of paper here says you're looking for employment.
That's right, sir. I'm been a cowhand for many years. Looking to come out west to just get some of this drier air out here, and just ready to do some hard work for you, sir.
Well, this here's the best ranch in the area, and I tell you, you'll find some work here that you can be proud of.
That sounds mighty fine.
But, I can't let just any geek off the street work for me, if you know what I mean.
Oh, sure. I'm pretty handy with the steel.
You gotta earn your keep.
Sorry.
So we got a little job interview that I'd like you to perform, if you don't mind.
I would expect nothing else, sir.
All right, so I have a series of tasks that you will be asked to perform.
Each more fiendish than the last.
Yes. To some degree, it will decide whether you even get a job here.
Oh, shit.
To some degree, it will decide how much that job pays.
All right.
So, the first thing he says is,
So we got old Bess out in the barn there. You ever milk a sow?
Why, yes, sir, I have.
Well, I have to say that's mighty strange because a sow is a pig. But regardless, have you ever milked a cow?
Why, yes, sir, I have.
Good, because her teats are really engorged right now. I'm going to need you to go out there and unengorge those teats.
All right, let's go. Take me over there. We'll go give him a squeeze.
Alrighty.
okay, so he leads you out to the barn and find this kind of a sad old cow. It's just like, and you're gonna roll animal handling.
Oh, shit.
And let me know what your scores are in these before you roll.
Actually, clearly thinking I was going to have to handle some animals being a cowhand, I gave I gave myself pretty decent setup in that. So I've got a 65. That's not too bad at all.
Oh, nice.
I must have had some good forethought into that, which is surprising. All right, that's a success of a 47 on a 65.
All right, so you sit down and you manage to fill up 2 pails with some life-giving, refreshing white milk.
Perfect.
Jackson's stand and watch. Him and Cha are both just walking around with you as you do these tasks.
Okay.
And Jackson nods to you. He's like,
Right, well done there, son.
Thanks, sir. That's a task I can do. I can do many other things as well. But whatever you need me for is what I'll do.
All right, why don't you try forking some of that hay up into the upper rafters?
All right, sir.
You fork that hay.
Okay.
you can roll physique unless you have a better idea.
I would like to roll. I've only got a 30 in physique for some reason.
Yeah, you're a little weakling, so maybe this isn't the best task for you.
A little weak. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if there's something else that.
Meanwhile, Shaw is just grabs one with one hand and chucks it up into the rafters.
Awesome.
Look, this little man.
I'm trying to think if there's a way I can bluff or deceive my way out of this one. I don't see anything, though.
You can roll a deceive and maybe you distract them and somehow make them think that you did better than you did. But you're going to have a penalty if you mess it up.
All right, I'm going to... Oh, God, this is fucking risky, dude. Fuck. I feel like I have to do it. I don't think that any of my skills in that are going to be high enough to. It's just so low. So I'm going to roll a deception check.
I will say that, like, it's not like you have to succeed in every one of these tasks. Like, it's kind of built in that you're only going to do some.
All right, let's do it this way then. Let's roll the physique first. And if I succeed, I don't have to do a deception check. But if I fail, I can do a deception check because I can be like, oh, no, I totally made it up there. You didn't see? It's right there.
I'll let you do that. Sure.
Cool. All right, here we go. Rolling on a 30. I got an 11. I succeeded.
Wow.
Wait, it was a critical success. Tanner's like, he's like, oh, fuck. And he just musters all of his strength and he just grabs a hay bale and he just like kind of just chucks it and it goes right up and lands directly in the square that it's supposed to land in. It was like, it didn't bounce off anywhere. It was just like it was like a fucking perfect shot.
And Jackson's like, great jumping Jesus. Well done.
Hey, sir. I honestly, that was a little bit better than I was expecting, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
I ain't seen hay forking like that in a long time.
I forked that hay up good.
You forked it. All right. Now, why don't we go out to the pen? Let's see if you can rope a steer.
Sounds good, sir.
So for this one, I'm going to have you do some kind of stealth to sneak up on it, and then a throw roll to rope it.
My stealth's a 40. I failed my stealth roll.
Okay, so I'll just say that you spook the steer, and
Okay.
it's kind of running away. So you still can try and rope it at a -10, say.
Where's throw? Oh, I found it. I have nothing in throw, which means I default to 30, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh
okay.
my god!
You rolled a 4 on a 30.
That's amazing. And it was actually a 20 because I think you gave me a -10.
Oh, yeah. Jackson's like, dear God, you might be the best cowpoke I ever did lay eyes on.
Oh, no, sir. I'd say that's got to be Chaw over there. Look at him. He's a fine specimen, sir.
He is quite a big man. And he kind of leans over close to you and he's like, not much in the head department, though.
I understand.
But don't say that to him. He might get a little upset.
I double understand, sir.
The last man who made that mistake, he's down at the bottom of the well.
Well, then I triple understand, sir.
Well, since we're out here in the pen, first of all, why don't you say hello to one of my other best cowpokes here. Name's Al. Al, come over here. Say hello.
Hey, Al.
This is Al. Can you describe him?
Al's got a maroon and white checkered shirt, suspenders, tight beard, and teeny tiny hat on the top of his head. It looks like it's meant for a 2-year-old, but he wears it well. His smile lets us know he's feeling okay.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Al, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. You got a bit of an accent. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from the Rio Grande.
That fucking hat is amazing.
So Al, he guides you over to one of the Broncos, and he says,
We named this one Thunder because he refuses to be tamed. If you can do something with this, well, you're a better man than I.
All right.
I believe you have a ride skill for a horse. So you have a 30 in
Fucking horse
riding
riding.
a horse.
The fuck kind of cowboy has a 30 in horse riding? God, I did not plan that very well. All right, well, here we go. I rolled a 6 on a 30.
Oh my god, this is insane.
I can't believe this. This is so unbelievable. I'm gonna be making money.
Oh my god. Okay. So you hop onto Thunder and you realize that your riding skills are kind of shaky, but for whatever reason you seem to have some kind of affinity with this animal. Maybe because of your animal handling skills are so high. And it starts bucking, but it's not enough to throw you off. Pretty soon you're just kind of riding it around in a circle in the pen. And Al is like,
Oh my god!
and his tiny hat just blows off his head.
That's awesome. Tanner, as the horse kind of like slows down a little bit, he kind of like reaches his arm around, like pats the horse on the side of the neck, and he's like, "Oh, it's a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy." And they kind of just trot around. He slows him down, gets him to a stop, turns him around, brings him back the other direction, and kind of just works with him for a few minutes.
And eventually you turn him back over to Al, and he immediately bites Al on the arm.
Ah!
Oh, Thunder, don't do that.
Jackson says, "Oh, that is well done. Tanner Cole, I tell you, I haven't seen many of your like."
Yeah, you know, I got to admit, I wasn't expecting some of these tasks, but they worked out pretty good. I enjoyed them, sir.
Now, the next one's a little bit menial, but, it's something that happens around here a lot. We got a spot over there on the fence that needs mending. If you wouldn't mind, if I could see some of those skills.
Sure thing, sir.
Under, like, technical, I think? There's, like, a repair.
Yep. I got a 20. I'm going to fail this one. I had a good run.
Now, if you see anything else in your sheet that you're like, I can use that instead, or I can use this to help that, I can be negotiated with.
Okay. I got nothing. I'm just going to have to roll the dice. Literally.
Okay.
Oh, it's a big fail. 86 on a 4. On a 4? On a 20. Jesus. Well, that's a miserable failure.
And Jackson's just kind of like, well,
I expected you to come down to earth at some point.
Yeah.
That's all right. Working around here, you'll get plenty of opportunities to learn some new skills. Let's move on to something else, shall we?
That sounds fine, sir.
I noticed there's a big rifle you've been lugging around there.
Oh yeah, that's my 308, sir. This is my. I sleep next to this thing.
That looks like a mighty fine weapon. You see any time in the war?
I did, sir. I did.
Terrible times.
Terrible times.
Well, recently we've had some trouble with some coyotes. They've been walking around trying to get at the chicken coop. Why don't we see if you might be able to track one down? If you can bring me a coyote pelt by the end of the day, we'll call that a success.
All right, sir. I think I can do that.
all right, so we're going to have to do some kind of tracking.
I've got tracking.
Well, that's perfect. and then we'll do some shooting.
I've got shooting.
You kind of walk out in concentric circles from the ranch, and eventually you stumble upon some, maybe some scat, maybe some small tracks, and let's see what you do with that information.
All right.
What's your skill level?
73. I think it's my highest
wow.
one. I don't know why I did what I did here, but yeah. I think it did have actually something to do with with coyotes, so hopefully I don't fuck this up.
Ooh.
65 on a 73.
All right, so you are able to identify that not only that this is a coyote, but that it you kind of see where the tracks are headed.
Nice.
So you head out into the brush. Navigation. Which one of those?
Natural.
Yeah, natural. So let's do a roll for that to see if you keep your own bearings, you keep the bearings of the coyote,
Okay.
and you're just tracking it.
All right, and this is going to be a 62. That's a 4 and a 62.
Okay, so you perfectly keep your own bearings, and you track this thing down till you are within range of your rifle, but not so close that you think you're going to spook it.
Okay.
You have a clear shot.
All right, so Tanner finds a log perfectly placed, and he kind of crouches down, gets like set right up on the log. He's got his rifle out and takes it right down in one shot. Just done. That's an 8 on a 72.
Describe returning to the ranch.
Yeah, all right. So he goes, shoulders his gun, goes and picks up the coyote, throws the coyote kind of over his shoulder as well, and he's probably about a mile and a half away from the ranch, and just kind of makes his way back the same way that he came, and then walks right back to where last he saw Jackson Boone and Chaw.
Now, do you have it like over your shoulder, over both shoulders?
Maybe he's got it over both shoulders. Maybe he's got like the front legs over his left shoulder and the back legs over his right shoulder, and that's how he's carrying it. And then he walks right up and kind of walks into the center, and then just like bends his head down and like just drops the coyote right on the ground. He's like, "Found one, sir."
Good God. What a cowboy. I tell you, that one's been giving us trouble for weeks.
That was a wily one. It took me a bit to track her down.
If any of these other cowpokes were any good, we would have got him a while ago. You hear that, Al? Al's like,
I hear you.
all right. Well, I'll tell you already. There's no question, Tanner Cole, you have a job here anytime you want. We can discuss pay shortly, but just for the sake of running through the job interview as I do, I just got a couple more tasks for you, if you don't mind.
All right.
Sometimes when you're out on the range, you come across other folk who might be trying to pull a fast one on you, trying to steal your cattle or something. And you might have to negotiate with these people. So, Chaw, why don't you come here for a minute?
Chaw kind of lumbers over.
He's like, yes.
Now, Chaw here he's going to be one of these other folk who's trying to take some of the cattle, and you got to do something to negotiate with him and make him see your way.
So the idea for this, there are a whole bunch of skills that could be used for this.
Oh, yeah. I can see this. So what I'm trying to do is convince Chaw to like stop doing what he's doing.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm just gonna use convince.
Well, first let's roll, and then we'll act out what you say to him.
All right. That's a 60. Oh, fucking hell! I failed a 96 on a 60. Shit, that's bad. Tanner's like, "Look here, Chaw. You back down now. I got 10 other guys right behind me, and they're gonna come up and they're gonna run you down, son."
And Chaw kind of walks right up to you, and he can almost like set his chin on top of your head, and he's looking behind you, and he says,
There's nobody there, little man.
Shit.
I'll let you try something else.
I'll try bluff, I guess.
Now you better get out of here and leave me and my steer alone.
All right. Okay, so I rolled bluff. I had a 60. I rolled a 16 on a 60. So Tanner's going to go, "No, Chaw, those aren't your steer. Those are my steer. Your steer are in the next field over." This is our field. Your field's over there.
What? No.
Yeah.
This Chaw field.
No, Chaw, your field's the next field over. This is Jackson Boone's field.
Oh. This is Jackson's field.
Yeah, it's Jackson's field.
He starts walking away. Jackson says, Chaw, no, he's bluffing you. Come back here. And he comes back. And Jackson says,
You're going to have to work on that bit, son, but overall, I think you showed the ability to think on your feet. I like that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I'm afraid there's one duty that every cowhand needs to perform at some point, and that's to cook a meal for everyone else. So if you want to head over to the chuck wagon, prepare a meal for the other hands tonight,
Okay.
just do whatever you can there.
All right. I have another 4 in this one. If this is... Oh, wait, yeah. If this is craft cook, I'm fucked. I am not going to be...
well, frankly, this is one of those things where, like, if you're a bad cook, they won't ask you to cook, and it might work out in your favor.
This is true. All right, so I'm just going to roll it. 61 out of 4. Before anybody sits down to eat, Tanner's just going to be like, look, y'all, I'm no cookie. If you don't like it, that's fine with me. If it's the most gross thing you ever had, I understand. I can't cook. I can't cook.
Al's like,
What is this?
Fuck, I don't even know. It's...
You don't know?
Look, I don't know. I grabbed some potatoes. I grabbed some corn. I grabbed some what I thought was beef. I just put it all together in a pot and called it a stew.
Is this dirt?
There might have been some dirt on the meat. It fell off the counter and landed in the dirt. I didn't have any water to wash it off. Some people say it gives it an earthy texture.
And Jackson's like, and I am not one of those people.
I don't blame you, sir. I'm not either.
But fair try. How about a game of horseshoes?
All right.
so this will be a contested task. You throw 2, right? But, like,
Yeah.
I throw and then you throw, and...
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to roll with a 50. We'll just do, like, 1 round of this.
Okay.
His first toss is a 6, so he lands it right next to the pin.
Okay. And this is still going to be Price is Right rules where if I go over but under, I'm good?
Right. So if you beat his 6 and succeed...
Oh, Tanner chunks it. He rolled a 47 out of 30.
So your horseshoe just falls off to the side, and so he's still got 1 point. He throws his second horseshoe. Whoa, weird.
Dude's a ringer.
2 on 100. So this one also lands very close to the pin. He's going to have 2 points. Now, just to set this up, if you can do better than a 6 and succeed, you will steal the points and you'll have 1 point. If you crit succeed, you will get a ringer.
That is a success, though. That's an 18 out of 30.
Yep, so you land your horseshoe as a point, and it's closer to the pin than his 2, so you would take it. And he's like,
God damn, you win again, Tanner. This is incredible.
Oh, thank you, sir. It's very nice of you to say. I appreciate it.
All right, now there's just one task left for you. This one's a little bit sensitive, I understand. If you're gonna stay here and be a ranch hand at Boone's farm, you're gonna need to lay with one of my daughters.
I'm sorry, sir. What?
Oh, you see, over on the porch there, those are my daughters. That's one on the left there is Bobo Boone. One on the right, that's Toto Boone. Bobo and Toto.
Tanner tries to hold in a little laugh, and he does, but it was right on the cusp. He gives him a little wave.
Jackson says, "Now, Bobo's the older one, but Toto's the pretty one."
And but you can tell by looking at them that they're twins.
Cool. I need to roll a check to see if he's telling the truth on this. All right. So I'm gonna roll a psychology 70. That's an 8 on a 70. So he's gonna look at Jackson kind of like real hard in his eyes and see if he can determine if Jackson's telling the truth on this or not.
Yeah, you. I mean, obviously, this is a little suspect in the first place, and as you're gleaning information from his body language, you get the sense that this is a test.
It's a ploy. Yeah, it's a test. Yeah. Okay. So Tanner walks up to Jackson and kind of gets close into him and starts kind of talking to him. He's like, "Look, sir." He's like, "Your daughters look lovely. I can't do that, sir. That would not be right."
"Well, I'll be damned. Tanner Cole, the son I never had." Now listen. Now you passed that test. You were right to think that was a test, and it was. So, but I tell you, you've done so well on these tests that if you did want to take one of my daughters on a date, I would say, hell yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll just ask you, for the sake of being complete, is there anything else, any other skills you would like to demonstrate for me? Anything else you want to bring to the table?
He's gonna be like, "Sir, the only thing I'd like to do is brush up on those skills, like repairing that fence and cooking better chow for y'all. Those are the skills that I would like to learn while I'm here, in addition to what I can provide you."
Well, hot damn. Well, I'll tell you, you have been hired, son, at the generous pay of 5 gold per week.
Sir, that is indeed mighty generous, and I appreciate this offer, and I look forward to being a valuable member of this team.
Huzzah!
That's what Shaw says.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Yeah, obviously that was very successful. So you kind of settle in. He shows you a bunk that you have to yourself in the ranch house. You don't have
Nice.
It's not completely private, but it's kind of blocked off from the other cubicles.
Cool.
You make friends with a couple of the other guys. They're just kind of random ranch hands around here.
Yep.
Is there anything that you would want to ask them or Jackson?
He probably would want to describe what happened to him on the way into town, because it's going to come up anyway and they're going to hear about it. So he would want to bring it up. So he would definitely have that conversation and let them know that while he was on the stagecoach on the way in, it got fucking banditized.
Okay. So yeah, some of the ranch hands are like,
Yeah, I saw a big man down by the old creek.
and then some other ones are like,
Yeah, some big men attacked me when I was out in the countryside.
and you can tell that some of them are just making it up. Because they all wanted tell tall tales.
All right.
But you don't know for sure. You think maybe one or two of them, maybe one of these people did see some pigmen out there. I mean, you know that they're real now.
Right. And they're not pigmen. They're just men.
Right. And at one point, one of the guys is saying,
He's like, I never saw me no pigmen, but we do see some weird things around this ranch sometimes. No pigmen, like I said, but late at night, if you're on guard duty, some of us have seen some glowing green creatures out on way outside the fence. And some of the other guys are like, yeah. He's like, and enough of them agree to this that you get the sense that they are telling the truth. And they've seen just like what they think are animals, but they're like glowing with a green light in the middle of the night. There's all sorts of real weird noises out here. Yeah, now you get... Sometimes you're out in the canyons, you get some weird echoes, and you can hear some weird things out there, but I tell you, I never heard the things I've heard around here. You stay here long enough, you'll hear it, and you'll probably see the glowing green things, too. You also find out from them that on a couple of occasions there have been cattle mutilations where their cattle, or even other people's cattle from the brands, are just dead and drained of blood, but they didn't kill them, they didn't take their meat, they just left them rotting on the ground. So I don't know what kind of cowpoke does that.
That's pretty spooky.
Yeah, there's some weird things happening out here, but not to scare you. And everyone kind of laughs because they're... Again, you don't really know what they're telling you is true, what if it isn't true, if they're exaggerating. But some of the stuff, it does seem like they at least believe it.
Okay.
Anything else you want to ask them or Jackson?
I don't want to get into the Dawsons right now with them. I don't want to bring that up at this point in time. I think I'd like to let that kind of set. So do you remember the name of the horse that he was going to get?
Cheney?
Dick Cheney. And its quality is it's an asshole.
Yeah, I had thought of another way for you to get a horse, but it actually does totally make sense that you would get one as part of working here.
Okay.
Yeah, you now have a horse named Dick Cheney.
And to be clear, he's a good horse. He's just kind of an asshole. No, but Dick Cheney in real life's not a good horse. He's just an asshole. Well, the horse is good. The real Dick Cheney is an asshole.
The horse did invade Iraq.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
All right, so yeah, I even have some horse choices for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Choice number 1. Actually, if you want to just say a couple things about each of the horses. Doesn't have to be like a huge description, but...
Oh, that's a lovely looking horse. It's a brown horse, all brown, all over the place. Got a red saddle, long mane, peaceful eyes.
Number 2.
That's Dick Cheney. That's a fucking horse with blue eyes. His ears are perked up right. He's got a brown saddle, white stripe running through the middle of his nose, from his eye to his nose. That could be a good candidate for Dick Cheney. Okay. Let's see what this third one looks like. This horse is a little bit too much of a doofus to be Dick Cheney. It almost looks like a Clydesdale. It's got like fluff around its hooves and kind of has a shit-eating grin. So that's no Dick Cheney.
All right, this is now officially Dick Cheney. So this is kind of up to you, but I would say that you spent a few days here just kind of learning the ropes.
Yep.
Haven't really even gone back to town during that time.
Yeah.
But then the opportunity arises, and you get a chance to go into town. Is there anything specific that you would want to get in town?
He'd probably want to go and grab a few more shells for his rifle. He'd want to go see Buck.
Do you think you would go see Wild Rose again?
If he was out at the saloon at night, he would, but I think during the day probably not.
So you wouldn't like go out of your way to see her, but if you were in that environment, you would.
Yes.
Can I get an acrobatics roll from you for what happened the first time?
He had a long day, so he didn't perform up to task.
Okay, so you did roll a 96, which is definitely bad.
I did roll a 96, yeah.
So you didn't impress her, I'll say that.
That's okay. That's all right. He had a rough day. With the pigmen and all.
All right, so we'll say maybe you stopped in at the saloon to say hello when you came back into town. And then you're going to head over to the gunsmith to restock.
Yep.
As you're headed that way, you see, at first, like kind of out of the corner of your eye, but then it's pretty obvious. This group of 4 guys is coming down the street.
Oh, it's the Dawson boys.
And they're just hooting and hollering. It seems like at least a couple of them are probably drunk, even though it's like the middle of the afternoon. They're like literally like pushing people out of the sidewalk. This gentleman here, he's just like walking down, and he like expects them to get out of the way, and they don't. They just stand in front of him, and they're kind of like faking that they're gonna like hit him, and he's like, ugh, ah! And he like ends up like running across the street to get out of their way.
Nice.
And they come walking up to you, and the one in front is just like, well, looky here. Is this that new cowpoke from up at the Boones? And the other guy's like, it looks like it is. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I think you probably just from being there like a week, there's been talk. Of course, the other Boones would be talking about the Dawsons. They'd tell you, they'd give you descriptions of these guys. So what you've already figured out is that the leader of the other clan, the Dawsons, his name is Roy Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually his son, Clint Dawson.
Okay.
If you want to describe this guy.
Looks like a real tool. Muscular, though. Looks like he could get into some fisticuffs. Got kind of a tight baller cap. Green shirt. Gun on his hip. Definitely a tool, though.
This guy walking behind him, his name is Spittoon.
Yeah, and he looks like a spittoon. That's an easy one.
And this guy, his name is Outhouse.
Yeah, he looks like an outhouse. He's just kind of a goofy-looking guy with a big black cowboy hat, scarf, dumb look on his face.
And the 4th guy, his name's Matchstick.
Skinny guy.
Yeah,
stupid hat, yellow scarf, dumb face.
He is tall and skinny like a matchstick, but he also perpetually has a matchstick hanging out the corner of his mouth.
Amazing.
So these guys, Clint, he's like, why you want to go join them losers at Boone's Farm?
Tanner looks up at them. He's like, oh, you must be the Dawsons. Heard of you.
You damn fine better have. We run this town.
I don't know if that's what I heard, but if that's what you say.
Maybe you don't hear so well on account of having half an ear.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, son? I heard what you said. Don't say it again.
And his friends are all like, yeah, he said it.
Tanner's gonna walk right up and stand in Clint's face and just be like, do not talk about me again.
He kind of backs down a little bit. He's kind of like, all right, don't get all sore. Hey, listen, I got word to bring you in, come talk to Pa. You can't come with us, nice like?
If I say no, are you going to take me non-nice like?
And his friends are all like,
It's like, well, we'll just see what happens.
Well, sir, I'm going to have to politely decline this offer.
You ain't gonna decline nothing. You're coming with us.
No. No, I am not coming with you.
Boys.
and they start to surround you.
Shit. Crap. Maybe now is when I'll use that ingratiate skill and try and schmooze him over and tell him to head over to the saloon. I'm about to run over to the gunsmith, and I'll meet him there. And then we'll have a drink before we go up to and I would actually use deception to do that.
Okay, so you're lying to them?
Yeah, he's basically gonna be like, all right, boys, look, I don't want to get into a fight with y'all. Head over to the Silver Dollar, get a couple drinks lined up. I've just got to head over into the gunsmith real quick here, and I'll meet you back there, and we'll have a drink and talk this through, and then head out. How's that sound?
Well, roll to see how that sounds.
That sounds pretty bad. That's 100 on a 60. Shit, that's the crittiest of crits.
That is a terrible crit failure.
So Clint's like, do I look like this is my first rodeo? Now you're insulting me here by saying you're going to meet us at that saloon when we both know damn well as soon as we walk over there, you're going to turn tail and run because you're yellow.
Tanner punches him right in the face.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I'm going to roll fisticuffs. It's a 45. Oh, no. I'm paying for all those sweet rolls from earlier.
That is a 90 on a 45.
Fuck me.
Okay, so you just wind up and swing at Clint, but you just completely miss.
And he's like, oh, hell, it's on now. Get him, boys.
All right, I'm gonna let you have that as a surprise round, but now we're gonna do initiative. Spittoon is gonna roll a 9. Clint Dawson 17. Matchstick 11. Outhouse 4. And yours is a 15.
Yep.
So Clint takes a swing at you. He's got a 40 to hit. He rolls a 69, which is
That's a crit success.
Best possible roll.
Fuck. I would say he punches Tanner and knocks him right out.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, he just winds up and uppercuts you, and you sail backwards and land in a dusty heap on the ground. You have this kind of black dream while you're passed out. What do you think is happening in that dream based on like your past?
Oh, it probably brings him like back to the war, and just the chaos and the killing and the darkness and the smell of smoke and blood and gunpowder just constantly wafting through the air.
That might even be like the last time you got knocked unconscious.
Yeah, probably. It actually it would have been the same incident that took his ear, I think.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So, right when you wake up, you have that feeling, and you reach up to grab your ear, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's gone! It happened again!" But then you're like, "Oh no, it's the same that happened before." And your head is just pounding. But as your eyes open and your vision clears, you realize that you're in a room and you don't know where you are. You've never seen this room before.
All right.
You're lying in a bed. Strangely, you are not wearing your clothes. You're wearing like those like weird long pajamas that they used to wear.
Yeah.
Concerningly, you don't have your guns on you. But the bed is comfortable. It's like warm in the room, and there's a fire in the fireplace. And you look up, and across the room, there's an old man. And he sees that you're stirring. He is not currently pointing guns at you, as this would indicate, but this is what this is what he looks like.
All right, so we've got kind of an older guy, although he does have somewhat youthful appearance. Big gray mustache, overalls, cowboy hat, bushy gray eyebrows. Smile.
He says, "Oh, back to the land of the living. My apologies, boy. My son tends to get a little bit out of hand sometimes."
Oh, yeah, so, yeah. We got into it a little bit. That's sure.
Yeah, that was not my intention. I really just wanted him to put out an invitation to you. I just wanted to have a chat, meet this new fella who I heard so much about.
Well, yes, sir. Our wires might have gotten crossed, if that's something people said back in this day and age. But apologies on that. What am I doing here? Why? Am I free to leave?
Oh, yeah, of course you are. Well, you're not a prisoner. There your clothes and your guns are over there on that bureau. You're free to go whenever you want. But I would like to just have a chat with you first, if you don't mind.
All right.
Now, word is, you're working for that Jackson Boone. Is that right?
That's true.
Yeah, I can understand you not knowing about him just coming into town. But, he's a terrible, terrible man. You don't want to get involved with him.
So you reckon I should get involved over here?
Well, absolutely. We run a state-of-the-art ranch. The greatest things in the world. And we do things right and clean and by the book. We don't resort to underhanded dealings and stealing.
Who does the stealing?
Well, Boone and all his henchmen.
Is that... I heard it was you guys.
He would say that. He's a liar, too. That SOB would sell his mother's hairpiece for 2 coins to rub together.
That sounds pretty terrible. If I came to work for you, would you have like 18 tasks that I have to do? Just tell me how much money I can make from you.
I'll tell you what. How much is he paying you?
He's paying me 10 gold pieces a week.
10 gold pieces, eh?
He's gonna roll to see if you're lying. I'll say he's got 40. 71.
So he says, I tell you what, I'll give you 15 right now, with no questions asked.
15 gold pieces right now?
Per week. Per week, as they say. Not like a per diem. It's like a per diem, but per week. So they call it per week.
I haven't heard that before, but I'll take your word on it. Shit. Gotta think if this is something I should be doing.
I mean, if you want to say that in character, he would probably let you think about it.
All right, that's what he's gonna. Mr. Dawson, that is a very fine offer. A very fine offer. I just got to think about this real quick, and I'd have to gather my belongings. So I'll call on you and let you know. You give me 1 day.
That's no problem. You take your time, but answer as quick as you can. Both.
All right, sir.
Both take your time and do it immediately.
It makes total sense to me, sir.
Now you can be on your way, and you tell that Jackson that I know how to respect my employees.
I will do just that. It was a pleasure to meet you. And he gets up, gathers his belongings, dresses. Does Roy stay in the room while he dresses back up again, or is he gonna leave?
Yeah, he leans back in his chair. He's like,
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, it's just like that. All right. Yeah. All right, then. Yeah.
Tanner's gonna be like, I know my decision right now. That's a hard no, sir.
I'm just joshing you.
All right.
Nice to meet you too.
and he waddles out.
All right. Tanner gathers his belongings, walks outside.
So when you get outside, you get your first glimpse of this is actually Dawson's Creek.
Obviously.
But this place, it's like still a ranch, but it has almost like a military compound feel. There's like watchtowers with guards and some people doing work, but it seems like they're kind of they're being watched by other people more closely. It's not quite as relaxed as Boone's Farm. And
Gotcha.
you see kind of playing cards around a campfire, Clint Dawson and his 3 cronies, and Clint just kind of smiles and waves to you, and his 3 buddies are like,
Tanner looks over and kind of like nods like, yeah, you got me, and just keeps walking, doesn't say anything to him. After he leaves Dawson's Creek, he heads back to Boone's farm and walks up to Jackson, and he's like, sir, I just ran into those Dawson boys, and that Roy Dawson, I don't know what his deal is, but he just offered me 15 gold pieces to come and work for him, which I am not going to do, sir, although that is a very tempting deal. I appreciate you much more. Wanted to let you know.
I knew I could count on you from the moment you stepped in here and completed every one of my tasks to the greatest ability I've ever seen in my life. And now you tell me that you don't like the Dawsons? My God. Do you want to marry both my daughters?
Sir, is this another one of those tests?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm good for now. Though, you know, like you say, we might become family here.
Well, you're already my family, son.
Thank you, sir.
You get my back with the Dawsons, I'll get your back with them too. Don't you worry about that.
I got your back, sir. And then Tanner walks back into his bunker and puts his things down and just tries to forget this day ever happened. He's had a couple of shitty days since he got into this town.
And as you're trying to fall asleep, someone tugs the blanket off of you, and you're kind of mad at first, but then you see that it's Dick Cheney has come in and is stealing your blanket.
God damn it. God damn it, Dick. Give me my blanket back.
Ciao!
Bye.